Hi gamers! A big collection update here in this video. This is mostly new stuff, a couple of retro items only here, but mostly new stuff here, and I'm actually happy to announce a new console that I'm trying to collect in its entirety. After the Nintendo 64, I've been asked a lot that what console I'm gonna collect for next, and I'm gonna announce it in this video, and I think it might be a surprise to many of you, and I'm sure I'll get plenty of negative comments about this choice as well, but you hang in there until the end of the video for this. So let's get the retro stuff out of the way first. Got Donkey Kong for the Game Boy Advance, and slightly poor condition here, but it was cheap. This is part of the NES Classic series, and I think I'm missing 4 games for a full Game Boy Advance collection of these games. And the second retro item here is an LCD screen for the PS1. Actually, this is brand new and unused. I don't think if I can bring myself to use this, but it might be fun for a laugh. And then a couple of new VGA graded games. Actually, I didn't do an unboxing for these two, and I didn't buy these for myself. Because I already own these games, but if you recall my previous VGA unboxing, actually one of those games was broken. It had a broken case, and the VGA was kind enough to acknowledge their mistake in packaging the games, and I had it recased for no extra cost. But I thought I'd save a few euros by asking if I could include these two games that I had, and I wanted to get them graded, but I didn't want to pay for the whole shipping there and back, so I asked if I could include these in the package that was already going to them for the recase of the broken game, and they agreed, so I paid just for the actual grading of these two games, so saved a pretty penny on these, and I got these two games graded. So Resident Evil 2 for the GameCube got an 85, and this is actually, I did a trade here with a fellow collector here in Finland, and yeah, this is an American version sealed Donkey Kong Land 3 for the black and white Game Boy. Actually quite a bit of these floating around eBay. I'm not sure what happened here, why this particular pretty good game is still so readily available in sealed form, but happy to have this for myself as well, and had a pretty good 90 grade here. Then, if you saw my unboxing for the PlayStation 4 press kit, here are my first 5 PlayStation 4 games, and this promo package includes Killzone Shadowfall, Knack, and Lego Marvel Superheroes, Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, and Call of Duty Ghosts. Not sure if I have that much to say about these. Really bored at Call of Duty these days. Haven't played that so much. Actually haven't played Assassin's Creed at all yet, but that's definitely one game out of this that I will be finishing one of these days. Lego Marvel, I think I'll be playing that with my son. He loved Lego City Undercover so much that we need a new game to play together. Knack was really a disappointment. I know that the reviews were pretty bad for it, but then I don't know. I think always a game does have some friends to it. So I think several gamers rallied to its defense, saying it's not that bad on gaming forums, but it really is that bad. It's really repetitive and really simplistic. It's like a shadow of of an action game when you compare it to, I don't know, God of War, games like that, which this pretty much is. But it's just so simplistic, and all the environments are basically just for decoration. They're really simplistic environments as well, and yeah, really a big letdown. But that's not to say that it's if you're looking for some new stuff to play on your PlayStation 4, this is still something different, not just action. And Killzone Shadowfall, probably the best looking game on the console, at least for the traditional games. Here I'll explain that in a minute. A decent shooter, but I don't know, I'm really tuning out of shooters altogether. But at least there's some new ideas here, like with the drone you can send into combat or do some other stuff with it. So that's a fun new idea for the shooter genre. But actually my favorite game on the PlayStation 4 is of course a Resogun. It's funny, it was the same thing when the Xbox 360 launched. My favorite game was another 2D shooter, Geometry Wars Retro Evolved. I played that game to death, and I've played quite a bit of Resogun as well, and it's probably the best looking game, technically, pound for pound on the PlayStation 4. All those particles, it's really beautiful to look at, but of course the gameplay is where it's at in these kind of games, and the Resogun really delivers. It's very addicting. The high score tables are in full swing there. Actually, I guess I'm in the top 1,000 players in the world in Resogun, even though I did reach a couple of top 100 places, and I kind of let the game be. After that point, I had to go play Super Mario 3D World after that, so I gotta see where my high scores are at this point. But it's really a testament to a good score-based game when you're constantly learning new ways to score higher, and there are tons and tons of secret things that make your points skyrocket, and it's really nice that Housemarque, the developer, drip feeds people with the info on how to score better, and there's really a nice buzz going on about the Resogun all over the internet. So it's a really nice game, and yeah, it's a Finnish game, so go Finland. Then I got my first Skylanders game for the Xbox 360. This is the first game, the starter pack. Found this for 10 euros, brand new, so of course I had to pick this one up. For the Wii U, I got a bunch of games here. Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Winter Games, Sochi 2014. Wii Fit U, I talked about these games in my Wii U collection video, which I did last week after the Wii U had turned 1 year old, so I thought that was a good place to check out the state of my collection. So check out some additional comments on these games on that video. But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised when the game said that I could transfer all my regular Wii Fit data to this game. So it was nice to have some old info there, see how thin I was back then and how much I've gained weight over all these years that I hadn't powered the original Wii Fit up. So yeah, lots of new fun mini games, and I do like the balance here with the training, and then after the training session you can play some mini games. So some nice little bonus for you gamers out there. And of course the added Wii Fit meter here that you can take away from the TV and with you when you go running or stuff like that. Then I also got, can't fit this here. Got the Buccaneer edition of Assassin's Creed 4 for the Wii U here. And actually people have been asking why I didn't do an unboxing for this, and that's basically for the reason that how this game came out here in Europe. It came out at the same time for the Wii U, PS3 and Xbox 360 in the USA, but here in Europe the PS3 and 360 versions came out first, and inexplicably the Wii U version came out a month after that. And by that time I had to do videos of my PS3 and Xbox 360 collections because the PS4 and Xbox One were coming out, so I was just so swamped for videos then and just didn't have the time to do an unboxing for this one. But still happy to own this for the Wii U, which actually is by far the rarest version of this game. Had to be, because the game sales on the Wii U are not really that encouraging, so there had to be only a few of these produced for it. So I think it might be a a nice nice investment to get to these special editions on the Wii U, while Ubisoft is kind enough to make them. Also got Watch Dogs pre-ordered for the Wii U, so that one coming up next year, and that I will be unboxing, I promise. Also got here Super Mario 3D World. Again, check out some of more of my comments on my previous video, but yeah, this is a truly a great game. I was one of those people who kind of dismissed it as a quote-unquote small Mario game when it was announced, but make no mistake, this is really a fantastic 3D platformer. It isn't as grand as Mario Galaxy games, and I think I still would have preferred a big Mario game, but still this is a fantastic 3D platformer, and it has tons and tons of new ideas and new stuff that hasn't been seen in Mario games or platformers altogether. So you can't really say that this is yet another Mario game when this has so many new ideas. I just love it, and it's really tough. It really gets tough after the first end credits, and that's really when the game starts. There's tons and tons of new worlds to unlock after the end credits, so just keep playing. Next, for the 3DS, I got the second 3DS game for the Professor Layton series, Professor Layton and the Ezrin Legacy. I wasn't. I think the previous 3DS game, 3DS Layton, was a step back. I really adored the DS games, but the 3DS Layton just had some of its charm lost when the character models turned 3D, and yeah, not that beautiful 3D at all. They were slightly blocky and ugly, but this actually fixes some of that. And also for some reason, the backgrounds, which are now pretty interactive, you can zoom around there, look quite a bit better in this game. So I think they took some of those mistakes back in this game. I'm not that much into the game yet, so can't talk really about the difficulty level, but again, the previous 3DS game was quite easy, so I think they made it like a newcomer Professor Layton or something like that, so I hope this will be slightly more challenging all around. I have finished every Layton game 100%, and I will be doing the same with the 6th game here in the series as well, for sure. Bravely Default. I've heard really good things about this really fantastic old school RPG. So hopefully I'll get to get the time to open this bad boy up as well. But at the moment, no chance. I really have to clear some backlog first before I take on big Japan RPGs. And then I got Zelda: A Link Between Worlds, and the reason this is still sealed is because I'm gonna be giving this to myself for Christmas. My favorite Christmas present of all time is Zelda: A Link to the Past. 21 years ago, my parents gave that to me, and I remember playing all night with the game, and my brother, who was really into games as well back in those days, not so much these days sadly, but he was really into it as well, but he went to sleep I don't know, some time before we got out of the sanctuary, and when I did get out of the sanctuary, I had to wake him up and say, "Pasi, we're out in the big and bright world here, you gotta check it out," and it really was a fantastic experience. One of my favorite gaming memories, playing Zelda: A Link to the Past for the first time. And I'm hoping to capture some of that magic here with the sequel to that very game. I've been hearing very good things, especially lots of fan service here. I do like the premise that the game takes place in a familiar world, but of course there's most of the things are different, like the dungeons and all that. Just the overworld is the same, and I would love to see more of that premise in classic games as well. I'd really like to visit some other places as well, not just in Zelda worlds, but I think Zelda lends itself to that kind of premise very well. So hopefully I'll get some pure magic out of this come Christmas night. And finally, my last game before the bigger reveal, which console I'm gonna be collecting next. Got here sealed copy of Persona 4 Arena. I got this for €10, so it was really a good deal. You really shouldn't pass any Atlas games for that price. And then the console that I'm gonna be collecting, or attempting to collect all the games for next, is, drumroll, the Wii U. Now I know it might sound a bit weird to collect for a console that's still in development and new games coming out all the time, but I think it's just a refreshing thing compared to the Nintendo 64 collecting, where you're trying to find really old games in various conditions, compared to a console that gets new games all the time, and every trip to a supermarket might lead to you getting more games out of the bargain bin, and that was really my key point here, that the games are cheap. The stores, I don't know if, of course you know that the Wii U hasn't been selling as well as it really should have, or could have, or deserved to have been sold. But basically the stores that sell the Wii U are, of course, going for the short-term presentation, and of course that means that if a console doesn't sell, it gets limited shelf space. And that just means that there are plenty of Wii U games on the bargain bins at this point. Mainly the launch games, but some newer stuff as well. And I've been going crazy to every supermarket and department store and every online store to find cheap games for the Wii U. And I have quite a few here. And I'm just going to be going through these first, and let's talk more about the Wii U after that. And yes, I know that half of these are pure crap, but half of these, surprisingly, are real games, so to say. So it's all part of the fun of collecting. So let's check out what I've had in, I don't know, the last week or two. I bought these. So let's start with the not so good games. Family Party, 30 Great Games, Obstacle Arcade. Rabbids Land, Game Party Champions, Sports Connection, Your Shape Fitness Evolved 2013, and Just Dance. So basically what you'd expect for all these minigame collections and health games and stuff like that. But here come the real games. Mass Effect 3 Special Edition, Injustice Gods Among Us, Batman Arkham City Armored Edition, Marvel Avengers Battle for Earth, Darksiders 2, and Resident Evil Revelations. And so yeah, got 12 games for the Wii U, in addition of course to the previous games that I showed. And out of these, only the Resident Evil is a used copy. All of these are brand new and sealed, perfect condition. And I guess I counted that I got these games for roughly, on average, about 13 euros a piece. So not that bad. Some were 10 euros, some were 20 euros, and in between there. And while it might seem a bit impractical or even foolish to buy these games, especially the crappy ones, just to be sitting on your shelf to be sealed there, it's yeah, well, this is a hobby. I'm a collector. I do enjoy this, and well, the Wii U is slowly becoming one of my favorite consoles of all time. I think it might be some psychological thing that I want to root for the little guy and the console in distress, but I think well, now it doesn't even seem to be in that much distress, at least when you look at the few weeks worth of new sales figures in Japan. Looks like the Wii U is coming finally along there, at least in the GameCube speed. So hopefully we'll get to the GameCube numbers in games as well. So I think I'd say that the Wii U in the end will have, like, I don't know, 400-500 games released for it. That's just a prediction. The Nintendo 64 had 400 games, and the GameCube had like 600 games or something like that, so that might be a good estimate. And yeah, when these, especially the launch games, which are pretty old now, and if they hit the bargain bins and they are sold away that way, it basically just means that there won't be any reprints of those games, that's for sure. So if you do find the games in bargain bins, you gotta buy them now, or then your next chance is gonna be getting them used. So I just seized the day here and bought all these nice games for pretty cheap, and I hope it will be a nice little hobby here to get all these Wii U games. Not going to be spending too much on any game. It's all part of the fun to find them as cheap as possible. But I'm really really happy to get a new collection here up and running. Total, I have, I think now, 34 Wii U games altogether. I was really surprised that there were already 75 games released in Europe, physical games in Europe for the Wii U. So actually that was quite a bit. I thought it would have been a lot less. Of course, I already had every Nintendo game, and I thought I'd be way past the halfway mark with these games that I got, but actually I'm not really there, and more coming. So let's see how how far I'll fall behind with this collecting, but it's all good so far. So happy to show some of my support for the Wii U. Really liking that console. And that was it for my rather large collection update. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.